The online tutoring space is booming, and there's 3 phases that every tutor needs to master to scale to 7 figures without burning out. And at each phase, there's a hidden roadblock that you've got to uncover to scale your online tutoring business. And the thing is, nobody is teaching this to tutors online. And so a lot of tutors get stuck scaling their online tutoring business. Now, I recorded a training a while back that we give to our clients, the exact playbook to scale an online tutoring business from ground zero to 7 figures. We've done this for multiple tutors now. So I'm going to share this training with you to show you how to get past these hidden roadblocks and scale your online tutoring business to 6 and even 7 figures and beyond. So let's jump in.
Alright guys, so in this video I'm just going to walk you through the 3 phases to scale your impact income without scaling your workload with online tutoring. The reason why I'm sharing this with you, there's really kind of 3 phases to growing your tutoring business long term. I break them down into 1, launch, which is when you're kind of, building a side hustle. You're just getting started with your first groups of students. Second step is when you're looking to become a full-time tutor, where you've replaced your teaching salary and you're doing this full-time. And then 3 is, really when you're able to scale your impact, your income, your teaching independence. And I call this the future teacher, when you've got other teachers working with you and you're really, scaling to 6 figures and beyond with your teaching business. Okay. And so the reason why I'm sharing this with you is to break down the biggest roadblocks that stop teachers being successful online at each of the phases, whether you're looking to launch, whether you're looking to grow what you've already got, your student base, your income, and maybe you're looking to scale. What are the biggest roadblocks at each step? And the reason why I'm sharing this is because, look, I've done this for the past 5 years at the time of me leaving this video. So it's safe to say I've seen what works, what doesn't work. I've personally coached over 3,000 teachers. So I know how this works. And I want to make sure that you get ahead of the learning curve and perhaps help you avoid any mistakes you're going to make along the way. Okay. And so you might have heard about our Students on Demand program. And so I'll walk you through what that is as well in this video. I'll show you what Students on Demand is, how it can help you launch, grow, and scale at each of those phases, your online tutoring business, by making sure you've literally got everything you need to avoid and overcome the roadblocks that we're going to walk through. So our group launch accelerator, our group growth ascension, and at the bottom here, our scaling impact expansion program. Okay. So important disclaimer also, I will share with you some client results as we go through this. And so it's very important for me to state that whilst all of the results and testimonials I'm going to share with you are real, they're not a promise or guarantee or expectation of your own earnings as well. Okay. So in no shape or form do I suggest that the experience of one teacher is going to be the same for you. Okay. Your results would vary on things like your effort, the action, the commitment, and the success with anything requires hard work and dedication. So this is no exception. This is not a magic pill. And anyone who thinks it is obviously crazy, right? And so the testimonial and results showcased here are simply past results from some of our top clients, who've actually applied the training that we provide and therefore should not be considered exact, actual, or typical for every individual. I don't know you, I don't know how hard you work, so I can't guarantee that you're going to produce the same results. That would be crazy if I did. Okay, so with that in mind, let's walk through phase 1, launch, when you're just getting started, perhaps as a side hustle to get your first group of students running. So the biggest challenge in phase 1, believe it or not, is simply just launching and putting yourself out there as a teacher to recruit your first students. And, there's so many quotes online that back this up. It sounds very simple, but it's true. Okay, the only reason why you can't be successful with this is because you hold on pressing the go button. And, Thomas Edison said it here. Most people do nothing. Opportunity is missed by most people because it is dressed in overalls and looks like work. So really simply, the only reason why you can't get to the first phase is purely down to just not putting in the work. Okay. And so a lot of people own some sort of musical instrument. Okay. And they never learn to play it. It's not hard. It's not because it's hard, or anything like that. It's because they just don't practice enough. So this was my guitar. I actually sat in my office. You can see here, it's got, you can see my name on the plaque, right? So this is in my office. Had this guitar sitting there for about 2 years. Right? And I thought, I know, I'll invest in a more expensive guitar. So even though I paid, I think this was like £2,300, so like over $2,500. And I thought just paying for one of the most expensive guitars will probably make me want to play it, right? So I wanted more skin in the game. Okay, so just the investment, it doesn't matter. Okay, so what I really needed at that point was a music tutor. So people who were really serious about it actually go and invest and hire a tutor. So this is my diary over here. I had to book a guitar lesson. You can see there on my diary, I have it at 10 a.m. every Monday. Okay, and so I actually had to have that to make me pick up the guitar and play. Okay, so the teacher isn't providing me some sort of secret sauce or playing strategy. I could have gone on YouTube. Right? I literally could have gone on YouTube. I even got given, when I bought that Fender guitar, I even got given free music lessons by Fender. I didn't take them. Okay, so at this point, the difference is simply accountability. Okay, because a mentor, a coach, to give you accountability shows you the right path to take. Okay, they make it easier. They can guide you. So if you look at these two images, one path, very simple. The other path, it's difficult. There's branches, there's leaves in the way. And so you need someone to guide you down the path who has already been there before. They just simply provide you accountability. So this is not just my opinion either. Research overwhelmingly proves that having a mentor, coach, or teacher providing you accountability and guidance massively increases your likelihood of success. I even went to the length of researching some studies to back this up, so it's not just my opinion. Okay, so effectiveness of accountability, ASTD study, according to research by the American Society of Training and Development, if you set a goal privately, your chances of success is only 10%. Isn't that mad? Just 10% if you decide to do things on your own and set your own goal. If you commit to somebody else that you'll do it, okay, so you hold yourself accountable and you tell other people, your chance actually increases to 65%. Okay, but if you have a specific accountability appointment with perhaps a mentor and coach, your success rate jumps to 95%. Madness, right? So simply having accountability, a mentor or a coach at this particular point on the journey can increase your chances from 10 to 95%. Studies back it up. Even Harvard Business Review study on coaching, a study published in the Harvard Business Review found that coaching significantly boosts productivity and performance. 80% of people who receive coaching report an increased self-confidence. Over 70% report improved work performance, better relationships, and more effective communication skills. So coaching isn't just about motivation, right? It's proven to increase tangible results and personal growth. Okay, so Journal of Sports Science and Medicine, a study from the Journal of Sports Science and Medicine found that individuals working with personal trainers, kind of like me and the guitar teacher, right? They experience significantly better fitness outcomes. Participants that worked with a trainer showed over 30% greater improvements in both strength, aerobic capacity compared to those who just trained on their own. Okay, compliance, sticking to workouts consistently, was also significantly higher in the trainer-led group. Okay, so the structure and accountability provided by a personal trainer dramatically increases and enhances consistency and results. And I think we all know that. Not everybody needs a personal trainer, right? But I've had personal trainers in the past, and I've purely done it just for the accountability level. Okay, and so it doesn't stop. Research by the American Psychological Association found that people who received mentorship were promoted 5 times more than those without mentors. Okay, according to research by the International Coach Federation, 70% of small businesses that received personal coaching survived at least 5 years, more than double the survival rate compared to businesses that didn't have personal and professional coaching. Okay, and so if we know all of this to be true, and there's an overwhelming amount of support that backs it up, and that's why I wanted to share that to you, if we know this to be true, what would give you an unfair advantage and enhance your chances of success at this particular point in the journey to build your dream online tutoring business? And that is honestly why I created our Students on Demand program. Okay, to make sure that you have clear, tangible goals, make sure that we can set you deadlines and milestones to work towards, provide you with personalized and private one-on-one coaching and support so you have that accountability, not only to stay true to your goals, but enhance performance, hold you accountable, and make sure you stay motivated. And actually, just don't let you quit, and do everything that we could to make sure that you go all in to do this. So here's what Jeff said about the program. Take your tutoring business to the next level. Sales, even just some accountability, you may need help with that to keep you on the right track. There's all sorts of online sessions and clinics to help with all of those things. My coach Rob's been super supportive. It's been invaluable. I'd highly recommend this program to anyone who wants to move forward with their tutoring business and take things to the next level. Dr. Julie, more than I expected, the Teacher Project delivers. One of the biggest challenges for me has been shaking the fear of stepping out before I feel 100% ready. So exactly like what I was saying, the biggest roadblock at this point is simply just that accountability and not pressing go. Okay, something that's tough for us teacher types, but Elliot and Zach consistently remind us to take action, even when it feels uncomfortable. Their encouragement has been invaluable as I navigate this journey whilst juggling a full-time workload. If you're looking for a program that not only provides great content, but genuine support and motivation, this is a fantastic choice. Okay, and I want to share this with one of my previous clients, Sharika. Okay, so you can see the date here. This was back in 2022. This was years ago. And so even at this point, Sharika was going to join our coaching team, and I actually jumped on with a call with her to help her with something that she was going through inside of her business, okay, her tutoring business. And, I asked her, if we could get better as a team, what would it possibly be? And so just listen to what she said. And again, this was back in 2022. And obviously we've continued to grow since then. So we've got way better than what Sharik said years ago. So just listen.
It would be good feedback from you as well, because you've been on the client end now. So what do you think we could do better as a success team then?
To be honest with you, I'm going to be very transparent. So I'm in a coaching group also, right? But that coaching group isn't regarding tutoring. It's about consulting, educational consulting part of things. And to be honest with you, Elliot, your program by far surpasses that program. Like when I went into that program, because of all of the help that you have in your program, I was expecting that in this program. It is nothing like it. Nothing like it. So I meant to tell you, so I'm glad I have an opportunity to tell you now, like the things that you're doing in this program, of course, people, if they haven't been to any other coaching programs, they don't know any better, but your program is honestly amazing based upon all of the support and opportunities that you give people to just talk and set goals, and even down to the videos that you have in your modules where it's like, okay, it's only 10 minutes long. So I can keep my attention for 10 minutes, and then you get like a worksheet or something for them to follow. You set the bar for other coaching programs.
Well, it's really kind of you to say that.
So the reason why I share that for you is because there's an overwhelming amount of evidence we've already been through that accountability is the key thing to get going. And you're hearing it from teachers who've actually experienced students on demand. Okay. And like Sharik said, if you haven't been in, side of students on demand, you're not able to compare it to other places. And I personally invested hundreds of thousands into our own coaching and development, working with other coaches. And I've seen the best of online masterminds. And that's exactly what we built here in Students on Demand. Okay. So phase one, biggest roadblock is overcoming the accountability. Okay. Now, again, you might not need accountability, right? But some people do. And you've already seen, not just does having a coach mentor help you stay motivated, set goals, also increases performance. Okay. So phase two, let's jump into phase two. What's the biggest roadblock at this particular point? So this is when you're looking to become that full-time tutor, and, perhaps you've replaced your teaching salary, you're just doing the tutoring, and you could already be there at this point. But the biggest challenge in phase two is simply your skill levels. Okay, so there's three main skill levels that you need to develop at this point. Because to be honest, at stage one, when you're just getting launched, you don't really require many skills, right? But if you want to really kind of make and grow your business and make this a full-time thing, replace your teaching salary and more, you need to get good at marketing, sales, and also tracking. Okay, so that's what we'll cover here. So marketing really gets you the attention, sales gets you paid, and then tracking tells you what's working, right, inside of your business, so you know what to optimize. And so when it comes to marketing, there's a rule of 7, right? So a prospect needs to see or hear your marketing message at least 7 times before they take action. Okay, companies that are marketing led grow 2 to 3 times faster than those who aren't. Study from McKinsey and Company. The average human attention span is now 8 seconds, shorter than a goldfish. This is from Microsoft in Canada. Okay, Microsoft Canada. This means your audience will likely miss or forget your message until they see it repeatedly and consistently. HubSpot, one of the biggest online CRMs out there, so client relationship management softwares and tools. Most conversions happen 6 to 8 touch points in. Companies that nurture leads, so email follow-up, retargeting, value-based content, generate 50% more sales-ready leads at a 33% lower cost. So again, research overwhelmingly promotes and supports that getting good at marketing helps your business grow faster. And so most teachers, they don't progress with their marketing skills. Just getting good at launching one particular ad is not enough. You need to master the follow-up. You need to master the email. You need to master retargeting, okay, to keep nurturing your leads. For example, you might launch with a basic image. Here's Nigel, one of our clients, actually helps the teachers that we work with now and provides them more accountability. He scaled his business, to over 10 grand a month, took himself out of it, hired teachers, and at that point, he was able to help some of our clients too. But when Nigel first started, he was using images like this. It's very easy to use a stock image, okay? Obviously, Nigel did it himself, but you could get stock images. So that will get you started, it will get you launched, but to grow, you've got to get good at things like video. You've got to get better at marketing like Nigel did over here to grow your business, okay? For example, Marcus Smith, okay? Marcus hit his first 10 grand month. You can see there, he doubled it in the space of a month, right? I just hit a milestone, first 10K month. Then 6 figures, did 100 grand cash in his business in a 12-month period, okay? Now, so the key thing is, Marcus, when he first started, he didn't have the skill sets, right? So 5,800 that he was earning there, £5,800, that's more than the average teaching salary. Okay, but if he wanted to get to 10K, he had to get better at marketing, okay, and at sales, all right? So sales is the next skill. So sales is one of the most valuable skills that you can master. So there's some stats here on the screen. You can see sales training increases results, okay? Honestly, it's one of the most important skills you need to master. And to be honest, as teachers, you're always selling, right? You're selling your students to do the work, okay, in the classroom. But if you're not able to master the sales process in your tutoring business, when you come to increase rates, things like that, you're not going to close many deals. So you're going to see a 20% stats show performance after sales training. 75% of people who've had sales training say it increased their business revenue. And the key thing about sales is it's a learnable process. It's a skill, right? Which is what I'm talking about at this particular phase. You've got to get better at this skill. So 80% of sales need 5 follow-ups, okay, to close, okay? Confidence comes from getting better. It's, most people avoid sales because they're scared, particularly teachers that we've seen, they're scared of asking for money. That's completely normal. But if you don't overcome that, then again, you're not going to close many deals. So you can see here some stats. Harvard Business Review, top performing salespeople aren't naturally gifted. They simply follow a process and they've been trained to improve over time. High-performing reps are 33% more likely to spend time developing and refining the sales process. Another Harvard Business Review on sales behaviors. Okay, Sales Readiness Group. Companies that invest in sales training see an average of 20% improvement in sales performance. Okay, 75% of sales teams report that sales training has directly improved revenue outcomes. Association for Talent. Okay, now, this was Jacob Williams, one of our early clients. Okay, you can see here when Jacob first got started, he posted in our Students on Demand Mastermind. It took me 2 months and 26 sales calls to enroll my first student. I just enrolled 4 in 1 day. Never give up. You only fail when you quit. Well, how do you think Jacob did that? Well, obviously he got coaching and support and trained on mastering the skill of sales, So you can see here later on in his journey, he posted this, finished January on 27 grand. It's 36K USD. Okay. That's almost what most teachers make an entire year from their teacher salary. Okay. So you can see what this skill did for Jacob. So sales isn't actually about pressure or persuasion. So you don't need to be scared about it. It's a learnable process of helping the right people, so your right students, make the right decision. And the better you get at it, the more students you help. Okay. And the better your business is going to grow. Okay. And then the last skill is tracking. So I got this image here because let's say that, I want to lose weight. Well, what am I going to do? I'm going to track my calories. I'm going to track my exercise, what comes in my body, all of this type of thing. And if I don't track, I'm probably not going to get very good results, or I'm just not clear what's going wrong. Whereas when I do track, that's when I start to speed up my results and I lose more weight, because what gets measured gets managed, right? So studies show people underestimate calorie intake by up to 40% when not tracking. Right? So just again, example related to that weight loss example. Education Endowment Foundation. Teachers who track student performance regularly are 3 times more likely to improve learning outcomes. Companies with strong data tracking are 23 times more likely to acquire customers and 6 times more likely to retain them. Salesforce. Okay, and as a teacher, you track your students, right? And so tracking allows you to see what's working so you can fix it. Here's an example from one of our clients, Luke. You can see here 27th of August to 23rd of September on his screenshot there, did 19 grand in sales, cash. So about 25K USD. Okay, and so what we were able to do there, you can see, I've circled the middle image, calls. He had 16 calls. Over on the right-hand side, let me move my thing up here. He only had 5 more calls in the month, but you can see here the red thing underneath on the middle image where it says 18.75%. So he only enrolled 18.5%, 75% of the people he spoke to. So he only made 3 sales, took in 3 grand, right? So he got if you look at the bottom right on that central image, ROAS, which means return on ad spend, so every dollar he spent on ads, he got 348 back. Not a bad return, right? If I could stand at a casino and put $1 in and get more than 3 out, I'd stand there all day, right? It's, but because we were tracking, you can see what happened over on the right-hand side. We were able to optimize, and because Luke had strong tracking in place, he was able to diagnose where he needed to improve. So we worked on his sales skills. Look what happened the following month, okay? He went from 18% to 52% close rate, had almost the same calls. Yeah, it was 5 more, okay? But obviously we were able to optimize things up the pipeline as well. But I'm showing you this for a specific example because it's obviously the biggest needle mover was for him to improve his close rate. Boosted at 52, brought in 20 grand, okay? 22x return on ad spend, okay? Now, there is Luke, and you can see here, he was a former secondary school maths teacher. In his first kind of 8 months, just hit his 50th student since March. Another milestone ticked off. Big thanks to everyone. Very grateful to have found this community. And then here, very recently, he shared this photo in the middle. I've got to share some big wins today. I've hit 2 big goals. Just finished March at 25 grand. So over on the left, in a 12-month period, March was when he first began. This was March 2024. March 2025, however, okay, he did 25 grand. And you can see here on this screenshot in the middle, just in 1 day, he did 4.5K. Okay, I've hit 100 grand revenue in the past 12 months. It's mad. Okay, and so Luke got good at tracking and mastering the skills of marketing and sales. Obviously, in the first month, the previous March, when he first started, he didn't have those skill sets, so he developed them through coaching and mentorship and support over time, okay? So you wouldn't teach a student without tracking their progress, so why would you run your business without tracking yours. And just most teachers don't track the right things. They don't track effectively, or they're not consistent at it, so they can't make educated decisions and optimize their current business, okay? And how we actually help you with this in Students on Demand is you have live workshops with expert coaches, okay? So you actually get live coaching and training weekly. Look at our timetable. We've got tons of coaching where we can help you build your sales skills, and you get access to all the replays of these as well. You can jump on with coaches every single day of the week. Okay, we have advanced trainings, we have beginner trainings, we have sales call trainings. We break your sales calls down. Even just listening to us help other teachers and break their sales calls down allows you to learn from their mistakes. You even have Q&A calls with me weekly. You know, and I've personally coached over 3,000 teachers, so I can literally just...
Guys, quick interrupt. I hope you're enjoying the video, but I wanted to make sure you picked up your copy of Teaching on Your Own Terms. It's my best-selling book, and it shares with you the exact 5 steps that I've used with over 2,000 teachers at this point, helping them build their dream online teaching businesses. It went to bestseller in 7 categories. It's been featured by NASDAQ in Times Square, New York City. And I know you're going to love it. Inside of the book, you're going to learn things like how to position yourself as the go-to tutor in the marketplace, and the offer that you can create to get your ideal students reaching out, and how to communicate that. I'll share with you what I've seen as the best advertising strategies to get in front of new students and parents who want what you've got, how to sell your services, and everything you actually need to include in an online group tutoring business to make sure your students crush it and get great results. There's some free gifts and bonuses in there. I think in the first couple of pages, there's a link. You can go and grab some free gifts on me. But I know you're going to love it. Teaching on Your Own Terms. I'll leave a link down below in the comments, and go and pick up your copy today.
And a few looks at your business, what you need to do to get to the next level and grow, okay? We even have daily office hours and tech support. So you get live coaching to help you build the skills that we're mentioning, but you've got the daily office hours, so you can actually have support. So you get instant feedback, and you can book in for these. So you get instant feedback as you go through the program. So it's almost like doing it live with a mentor. You're doing the program live. So you can work side by side with other teachers who are in these daily office hours and co-working sessions that we have. And so we have workshops and support for every single step and skill that you need to learn. Okay. So that's how we help you overcome that roadblock. Phase 2 inside of Students on Demand. Plus, we give you one-on-one assigned personal coaching. So you have a one-on-one private support channel with a coach, and our coaches are people who've already been through the program. Okay, so they know what they're talking about, and you have one-on-one coaching sessions with them, and like I said, a one-on-one private support channel. And so here's an example from one of our coaches, Hanford. And so what clients have had to say about him: Peter Woodman, working with Coach Hanford from the Teacher Project. My relationship with Coach Hanford has been outstanding. He's not only knowledgeable, but also generally invested in my success, providing clear guidance and encouragement every single step of the way. Tatiana, Coach Hanford, Coach Hanford is always communicating and helping. He's always communicating, reminding me the next task for me to complete. In addition, Hanford has been very supportive and given me support every step of the way. I'm very happy. I'm in this journey with a very supportive team. So if you actually got someone who cares about your success, who's there every single step of the way, and plus the coaches then help you track everything so you can learn how to optimize every single area of the business. So not only do you have the accountability, not only are you building the skill sets of marketing and sales, but we're then deep diving into your business and tracking it and showing you, hey, this is what you need to do next. This is the stat that you need to improve. Here's exactly how we're going to improve it. Okay, so you can actually learn, so you can diagnose the constraints in your business down the line on your own. And that means you're going to be able to keep growing and eventually get to the point where you can really scale. Okay, so expert coaching and support obviously equals success. Okay, look at Charlene Seeley, game changer. I've been a part of TTP, the Teacher Project, since July of 2023. Honestly, I can't ever see myself leaving. Sorry, Elliot, you're stuck with me. You can also develop your mindset, which is key. They've got every angle covered, so there's no way you can fail. Before, it was a blow to budget when my son needed new football boots. Today, I can afford to send him off to the school trips abroad. He's off to China in October. Isn't that incredible how it's just impacting Charlene's family? I'm very grateful to everybody here. Thanks for helping me build my dream life. Dov over at the top. So great value, great service, great support, unbeatable price. If I had to describe in 2 words incredible value in the Teacher Project, it'd be passion and commitment. The passion of every coach from the top, from Elliot, the founder, to every coach, and the commitment to the success of every member. I was skeptical before I joined, as it was a major financial risk for me to join, but the value provided and the entire team far exceeds the cost. The Teach Project provides all of the above that you could possibly want for a fraction the cost of any one of the consultants you could potentially hire. So he's talking obviously about, people you might need to improve your mindset, hold you accountable, boost your sales skills, boost your marketing skills, track, optimize. We do it all. So you can see why Students on Demand gives you everything that you need to succeed and obviously get far better and faster results than you would on your own. And others who don't have access to this level of coaching, right? Obviously, you're going to grow faster than them, and that's why people join Students on Demand. So at phase 2, the biggest roadblock is not getting good at the actual skills fast enough, so you miss out, okay? Then phase 3, this is the future teacher phase, right? Where you're becoming that future teacher who's really able to scale, and to whatever level you want, the amount of students that you want to help, so the impact that you're having, the income goals that you perhaps got, the lifestyle that you want to live, so the independence, okay? So I will say, you might be fine at the stage 2, full-time tutor. That's absolutely fine. So the next part, it's not for everybody. I'm just going to be honest about that. You don't need to perhaps get to this stage, but for those who do, okay, but if you truly do want to scale your impact and income and not your workload, I'll walk you through what it takes at this point, okay, and how we can help. So the biggest challenge in phase 3 of scaling is that most teachers, once they get to the point where they're growing, they've made it a full-time thing, the only way that they know how to grow is just linearly, meaning I'll bring in more students, I'll start taking more sales calls, so enrollment calls, I'll start teaching more hours. So just linear growth. Now, obviously at that point, there's going to be a ceiling, right? Because if you want to 2x your business, so double it, you've got to 2x the students, okay? You've got to do 2 times the amount of calls in order to do that, which means you've personally got to do 2 times the amount of admin and 2 times the amount of time that you're investing into the business, okay? Now, that might be possible at just 2x, right? So that can actually work to a point, but obviously it's not scalable because eventually you're going to burn out the more and more you keep duplicating that process. And then, for example, if you want to 10x your business, are you going to teach 10 times the amount of students? Are you going to take 10 times the amount of calls? Are you going to do 10 times the amount of workload? Are you going to invest 10 times the amount of time? That's how you create a monster, right? And so linear growth has a ceiling because at some point you're not going to be able to take on more students. You're not going to be able to speak to more leads or follow up with the leads that you're already getting. You're not going to be able to keep on delivering great results if you're burnt out and don't have any energy and you become the business. And you're not going to be able to maintain your sanity, okay, if you're doing everything and you decide to grow linearly, okay? So what got you to this particular point won't get you there. You've probably heard the same. What got you here won't get you there, right? So scaling your income and impact is not just about doing more at this particular point in time. It's about doing things differently once you get here. Just like taking the stairs versus taking the elevator. If I'm staying in a hotel on the first floor, I'll probably just run up the stairs, right? It's very easy. So I'll probably just go up the stairs. Now, if, for example, I'm on the last floor, I'm not going to take the stairs. Okay, and I'm on the 42nd floor. I'm going to take the elevator. Okay, so in different scenarios, you do things differently to get to the same result. I want to get to my room in this example, but because it's on a higher floor, take the elevator versus taking the stairs, right? And you get the point. So the key to scale at this point is systemization, delegation, and actual leadership. So you can grow exponentially. So it's all about linear growth versus exponential growth when you want to scale. So if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This was an African proverb that I found that you might have heard of. But Jim Collins, one of the best authors out there and most famous and successful authors about building long-lasting teams and great companies, says this. If you haven't read his books, you should do. Great vision without great people is irrelevant, okay? Because you're not going to go far without other people, right? So here's how you actually serve 1,000+ students and earn 7 figures with online tutoring, if that's your goal. So let's have a look. Scenario 1 on your own. Let's say that you charge $500 for 12 weeks. Now, obviously, You might charge more than that. We've got teachers who charge $3,000 and above, right? Like for a 12-week period. But let's just use this low baseline because that's where you would start out. Let's say you charge $500 for 12 weeks. You have 5 students in a group, 10 groups, that's 50 students, right? If you fill all of the groups. 500 times 50, okay, well, that's 25 grand per cycle if you're doing 12 weeks. That works out. If 12 week, let's just, cut it in 3, 4 weeks, about a month. So about 8K a month, right? That's you on your own, okay, teaching 10 groups. Now, you probably wouldn't do many more teaching hours than that. So scenario 2 with 2 tutors, as you look to scale this by delegating, now you can do 30 groups. So just by hiring 2 other teachers and you keeping your sanity by not taking on more and deciding to grow linearly allows you to focus on all of the areas that you needed to hire the tutors. The marketing, taking more enrollment calls, so you can actually fill the other teachers' groups. So you can get to 30 groups, fill the groups, because you've got more time in your day, okay? You haven't given your time away and sold your time off. You've decided to create a business. You can scale to 150 students, 500 times 150, that's 75 grand a cycle. You're bringing in 25K a month, okay, into the business, roundabout, give or take. And obviously you're not going to be paying the teachers like massive wages, probably going to be paying them, 2.5 grand. So let's say that's still 25 grand, 20 grand-ish coming in, okay? And obviously your costs might vary, right? But you get the point. This is how you scale, just like any business would. Scenario 3, as you now start to continue to scale, you might get to 10 tutors. That's 110 groups with you still doing 10 groups yourself. And at that point, you probably aren't doing that. So it could just be 100 groups. But even at that, that's 550 students. 500 times 550, 275 grand per cycle. That's 91K a month. That's a 7-figure run rate, right? And so the more tutors, the more reach, more impact, more income without more of your time, okay? Because you're able to hire, systemize, delegate, and lead your team. So now let's look how you scale that. And this is how you can get to those 1,000 students as well. So there's 3 different scaling scenarios like I've put here. You could just decide to increase the group size. So even if you just kept it at 10 tutors plus you, 110 groups, you increase the group size to 10 per group. That's 1,100 students. So over 1,000 students. You didn't change the price, 500 per student, 500 times 1,100 equals 550 grand per cycle. Okay, you've doubled your business just by doubling the group size, 183K per month. Scaling scenario number 2, you just increase the price. Don't increase the group size, just increase the price. 10 tutors plus you, again, 110 groups, 5 per group in terms of students, 550 students. You increase the price to $1,000. And obviously that's something you would probably do. The more results, the more experience, your prices are going to go up, okay? Because you've got more skill. You can sell better. So $1,000 times 550 is 550K per cycle, same as the other side, but this time we played with the price, right? Not the group size. Same scenario, 183K a month. However, you could play with both, and this is what a lot of teachers do. Okay, you could do a combination, increase price, increase group size. So you'd have 110 groups, but because you've increased the group size to 10, that's 1,100 students, you've increased your price, so it's $1,000. So $1,000 times 1,100 is 1.1 million per cycle, 366K per month. Okay. Now you can either do the teaching at this point, or you can build a business that does the teaching for you. As I said, this isn't for everybody, but for those of you who want to scale to this level, this is how you do it. This is what tutors like Dalton and Laurie do. We actually presented them, look, with the 7-figure Tutor Club awards for teachers who've earned over 7 figures using this model at one of our live events. You can see me there passing it to Laurie. This is what Dalton did. She took her business to over $1 million in 10 months. She 4x'd her business. She already was growing her business, but in order to scale, these are some of the things that she implemented. She had teachers working with her so that she could scale her impact. You can see here at the top, this week I hit $1 million, almost 4x what I did last year. Things were different this year. Impact and Elliot pushing me to do a little bit more over and over again, and so I no longer feel alone running the business. Okay. And Arif, like some of our clients, Arif, we passed him here the 500 student milestone award when teachers passed the 500 student mark, and they've enrolled 500 students using our students on demand system. You can see Tutor on the left, almost 2,000 students across 10 countries. 2 years ago, I had 0 students, no job, no income, and a failed marriage. Okay, and Tutu shared some of these things. I've just mentioned that across the top. She scaled to over 2,000 students. Even in a single day, look at the left-hand side, we enrolled 18 students yesterday alone. Okay, and so we've actually got advanced trainings for teachers who want to kind of scale like this. Okay, of course, you obviously need to get to that level first, right? Before we can even help you like that. But we do have it there if you're wanting to achieve these type of results and you want to scale your business. So for example, we teach everything when it comes to like hiring, ramping, firing, team software that you need, how you lead your team, how you create automated sales. We've got all of that for the teachers who are ready to kind of scale hard. So phase 3, we've just been through it. In order to scale, it's about delegation, systems, and leadership from you. Okay, so we just covered all of the 3 phases to scale your impact income without scaling your workload with online tutoring. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So phase 1 was launch. That's accountability. It's really all it takes at that point, like, to be honest, just so you can press go. Phase 2, though, in order to grow and make this a full-time online tutoring business where you've surpassed your teaching salary and more, and you're growing your student numbers, it's all about skill level, sales, marketing, and ability for you to track, diagnose, and then optimize. Phase 3 then, so delegation, systems, leadership, so you can become a future teacher, scale your impact and income and independence, and have that freedom to do what you want. Okay, that's all about, as we said, delegation, systems, and leadership. So whatever your goal is, Students on Demand is about helping you get there faster. Okay, so Warren Buffett, one of the most successful people on the planet. Okay, it's good to learn from your mistakes. It's better to learn from other people's mistakes. It's faster, right? You don't have to make the same painful mistakes that are quite frankly costly and take away your time that never replenishes. So not everybody needs Students on Demand. I will say that. Just like not everybody needs or who wants to get in shape needs a personal trainer, right? So it doesn't have to be for you, but for those people, okay, those teachers, for many of them, it can be the difference between success and failure and potentially missing out on this obvious window of opportunity that we've got here. Look at the growth difference of the online tutoring space between 2023 to 2028, $318 billion growth, a 19.83% capital annual growth rate. It's a booming industry, okay? And so that's why some teachers are wanting this type of level of support, like Samaya. Okay, you can see here, I joined the Teach Project 2 weeks ago. Support's been incredible. The community and coaches make sure you never feel alone. So well structured. Everything feels easy. Ensuring I felt confident. My coach Nigel was able to guide me through it. His dedication and willingness truly stand out. Okay, here's one of our clients, Dish. Okay, I've snapshotted a couple of things. It's changed the trajectory of my business. So Dish was already teaching online. He wanted to grow and scale, right? He was at a different point in his journey. I joined September 12th, 2024, gained 13 new clients, generated 14 grand in new revenue. So in the beginning, not only have I seen financial success, but I've also grown immensely as an individual. Okay, support I've received from Nigel, Kyle, Rob, Ollie, and the entire team, okay, has been unwavering. I genuinely feel like I've got a team invested in my success every step of the way. Okay, so Students on Demand, who is it for? Well, it's for teachers who see the massive opportunity that I just walked you through in online tutoring. You're aware that, of course, online tutoring is exploding, and recognize this as your chance to gain financial freedom, flexibility, control over your teaching career. It's for action takers who want results now, not later, okay, when you're left to your own motivation, own accountability. So you understand that speed and accountability are the keys to success, and you're ready to move fast with expert guidance support rather than going it alone. Okay, it's for teachers who want world-class coaching and support. So you know that learning through trial and error actually costs way too much time and money. Believe me, I did it personally. Okay, it's a mistake I had to learn, and you're ready to leverage proven strategies from experienced coaches who've already achieved what you want. Okay, it's for teachers who refuse to settle and want more. So you're tired of being limited by traditional teaching models and having capped income, and you're ready to put in the hard work to finally be paid what you're worth while having the freedom to live life on your terms. It's for teachers who are ready to build a real sustainable business. So you understand the difference between trading your time for money versus building an online tutoring business that allows you to scale your income and impact globally, which is what's possible for online tutoring. Now, with that in mind, we do have some criteria, of course, for joining. Okay, just having a credit card does not get you access to Students on Demand. Okay, so requirements to join, very simply, commit to doing the work. Okay, so the program delivers outstanding results, but only if you put in the effort. And I think you know that, right? Success isn't automatic. You must be ready to implement the strategies, 10 calls, push yourself consistently. We obviously don't want passengers, we want drivers, because that's how we know we can help you be successful. Of course, be coachable. So our coaches are going to roll up their sleeves and they're going to go to war with you here. So you'll receive world-class coaching from our team. But for you to get the maximum value from that, you've got to be willing to receive feedback, kind of become a student again, right? Just like your students are doing. And then actually apply the advice and adjust your approach as necessary based on what our coaches give you guidance on. It's obviously not a quick fix mentality. So if you're wanting to, we're not looking for someone with a quick fix mentality. It requires work. So if you're looking for overnight success or a magic solution without effort, this isn't for you. Okay, this is about building a sustainable and scalable online tutoring business that will impact your life and others for years to come. Okay, and if that's what's possible, isn't it worth, finding out if this is for you and actually working hard for a short period of time so that long-term things can be easier down the line, right? Obviously, bring a positive attitude. You're going to be joining a community of like-minded educators as our top level of support, educators who uplift, support, and encourage each other. Right, so we only accept individuals who are kind, respectful, and enjoyable to work with. Okay, and I'm sure you are. Also, take full responsibility. In life, your results depend entirely on your willingness to take action with things. So we'll give you the blueprint, we'll give you the support, we'll give you the accountability, but it's obviously your responsibility to follow through and make it happen. Okay, so our team isn't going to jump through Zoom and do everything for you, right? So I've seen this change the lives of hundreds of teachers now. Honestly, and I truly believe it can do the same for you. Just like it's done for all of the clients that we've worked with. If you're listening to this one at the top, if you're a teacher considering joining one of Elliot's programs, you need to read this. I saw Elliot's ad one day, join the Students on Demand program. My entire life changed. I've leveraged my expertise as an educator to build a 6-figure tutoring business. I hit 100 grand shortly after Christmas. You deserve the freedom that is possible with this program. Jacob Williams at bottom, life-changing experience. Regularly making 25 grand a month and a realistic goal of 100 grand a month. Transform my business, bottom right. As a result, we've more than quadrupled our revenue and profits. We're delivering a better experience to so many more students. Bonus, I'm now able to take weekends and vacations too. Joining SOD, so Students on Demand, was by far the best decision I've made. The Ferrari of tutoring business coaching. Joining Students on Demand at the top right has been nothing short of life-changing for me and my family. So the key is they're talking about their families as well, not just them. My income has quadrupled since joining. When I first saw the Students on Demand program, I thought it must be a scam like so many other things on the net, but this program restored my faith that generally good programs do exist. Okay, so you can go on and on, but I'm sure you get the point at this point. Okay, so I've seen it change. Oh, I just showed you that one. So, and just so you know, like how invested in your growth we are, our company vision here at the Teacher Project is honestly to transform the way that teachers educate the world. Me and our team, my team and I, we talk about this vision all the time. It's something we bring up on our leadership meets. That's what we are here to do. So we're in your corner. Okay, and our core mission is to help teachers become entrepreneurs so they can teach when they want, earn what they want, and deserve for building our future generations. Okay, and I'm passionate about helping you teach on your own. Do your best, all right? Show them how serious you are about this, okay? And if you've got any questions on the program or anything at all, they'll be happy to answer on the call. So see you there, and hopefully see you inside of Students on Demand.
Thanks for watching the video and checking that out. Now, if you want to get a full scaling roadmap for your online tutoring business, here's the next step. Down below this video will be a link. You can click it, go ahead and book in a call with our team, and we'll build you out a roadmap to help you scale your online tutoring business. Even if you're starting from ground zero, or you're already growing your business, or if you're at the point when you need to scale, we'll work with you based on where you're currently at and what the current roadblock is, and we'll build you out a game plan to help you get to that next level. Now, Now, when you book in a call, we're not going to press you into anything because we guarantee success when we partner with Tutors, and we'll cover more about that on the call. So for now, next step, if you want to scale your online tutoring business with guaranteed results, click the link down below, go and book in a call, and we'll see you there.